You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show.
Palmer stepping away at first. Palmer extending the play. Crosses the field. Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is going to take it into Green Bay territory.
The show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20. It's insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Kazual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3.
As I get things organized in here, welcome to another edition of the Kazual Sportz Show. I'm your host, Earl Burnett. He is Sean McConnell on the other side. And it is another lovely Monday night where we bring to you all of what's going on in the world of Arizona sports. And we give you all of what's going on in the Bird Gang clubs across the Dane Valley. Tailgates, parties, information that's going on, all kinds of charitable events, you name it. We get the information out to you, and there's a lot of things coming up that we're going to have to start doing after the holiday, of course. So what's going on, Sean? How you doing over here, man?
Man, I am good. As you know, I won't speak much on it, but man, as you know, I officially adopted my youngest today, so it's a great day. The whole family's hyped. We had a lot of fun. I got the day off from work, so it's good all around, man.
And that's an awesome thing, you guys. I keep saying the same thing over and over, I know, but man, it's an awesome thing to see you guys, you know, be that need, that help for somebody in need. That is so awesome, bro. So
thanks, man.
I commend you guys on that. If you want to stay in touch with this show, go ahead and go to our website at www.ksrnaz.com, and also on all 4 avenues of social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, our YouTube page, and you can make up your own social media, whatever you want to, InstaFace,
Facebook. Yeah.
But yeah, that's where you get it all with the same tab: Kazual Sportz, Kazual with the Z at the end of the word sports. And we're here tonight to give you some more what's going on. And of course, you know, the Cardinals are on a bye week, so there's no Cardinals.
So we didn't lose.
Did not lose, and that was guaranteed this week. But man, if they can take a page out of that ASU's book, man, would that be nice? A signature win at some point this season. But let's see what's going on. Now, of course, what we normally do about this time, let's see what's happening in the world of sports.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
In the Kazual house.
Man, what's going on in the world of sports right now? We can talk about, let's see, the Baltimore Ravens are destroying the Rams.
Thank you, wow. Baltimore.
35-6 right now, and it's the fourth quarter with 9 minutes to go. And here's another team that is getting crushed by teams that the Arizona Cardinals played close. What do you see out of that, man? Does that say anything, or is it something you really don't pay attention to? You just can't really say it like that because games are different. They take on different dynamics, different teams, different matchups.
Yeah.
You can't say that. So, I mean, but something has to be said for this. I mean,
something has to be said for this, but what has to be said more importantly is that Baltimore is just clicking on all cylinders.
They look like the Super Bowl favorite, man.
And when you have an offense like that, your defense doesn't have to be the defense that the Cardinals need their defense to be at this point.
Right.
So there are some dynamics, like you said, that are at play that are a little bit bigger here. But this gives me a lot more hope against the Rams for both games, not just one of the 2 Rams games that we're going to still have to play. So this, I think we might actually get to 5 wins, Earl.
I was just about to come on and make a declaration of that, but we'll get to that later because we're going to talk about that. Also, we can talk about some more NFL things that are going on. I'm sure we can find some more NFL stories that are going on. A lot of good games that happened over the weekend. Not so good on the field, but going into as the matchup you thought would be a matchup didn't really turn out to be a matchup. So, wow, man, what happened to Green Bay? I mean, oof.
Green Bay
I was going to
worked.
be a close point game, and they get smashed.
And, you know, I actually had, for our Neutral Zone show, I actually had Green Bay winning that game. So, Ed Smith's got a chance to get a little bit closer to me on that one. But
yeah, that man.
The Redskins decided to win a game. That's interesting. Yeah.
Win good. Yes.
And Jay, your Raiders, man, your Raiders put 3 points on the board and let the Jets put up 34.
That was one of those overlook the Jets games, play down to your competition type of game or something.
They did not play mono e mono, if you know what I mean.
Okay. But the Jets have scored like 30-something points the last 3 games. Even if there's some losses in there, they've scored 30-something points for the last 3 games. So is that offense starting to click? And at the same time, the same thing with Cleveland. Are they starting to click now?
You better believe it, and I'm betting on them every time they play.
Man, come on now.
It's my dark horse this year. You had them last year. It didn't work out for you.
Nope, did not work out for me, and I'm not going down that road again. But we can also skip over to the NBA, of course. A lot of good things going on down in there. The Suns have ran into a little adversity, which is to be expected.
Yeah, well, it's hard when you don't have your best point guard playing.
Yeah, I still like the way they're playing through the adversity. Still,
Yeah.
I mean, because the games are still competitive with with the exception maybe of one game down. I think it was which one they got just totally wasn't in the game. But
Celtics destroyed them recently.
There you go. But other than that, they were battling until the end. They just did not have the players or the talent to match the other team's talent on the floor.
The 2 games that you want to have back are those Pelicans and Kings losses. Those are 2 games you should have had, could have had. You could justify losing to the Nuggets again. The Nuggets are a good club. Celtics are a good club. But you drop one to the Pelicans and the Kings right now, that really messes up your early resume as it goes for the standings. That really don't matter. But
right.
For now, yeah, you look at those 2 games and you think, man, if they could have just had those 2 back, that would have been a lot nicer.
Right. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the main thing that happened, of course, on Saturday night. And, of course, the ASU Sun Devils pulled off an upset, and we'll talk about that. But let's talk about, we can also talk about the Pac-12 now will not have a team to represent trying to get into those playoffs now. And you kind of go, oh, well, sorry.
That's a trend. That's a trend anyway. The Pac-12 has been having struggles with prolific teams. So, you know what? I think we're used to not having a Pac-12 team in the playoff at this point.
Exactly. But then when you think about it, the way, like I did Mike's his post game and his pregame show after that ASU game, and I said this was my first time seeing the Ducks on film or seeing them live.
Right.
I haven't seen them on film, and this is my first time actually seeing them play this year. And that 9-1 record did not match what I saw on the field.
No.
I said something should stand out to say, okay, the fourth quarter stood out a little bit. The fourth quarter started to let me see, oh, that's how they're supposed to look, but the rest of them did to the start of that game, and we'll get into that game, but I'm just saying that they just didn't look like a team that can go compete with a Georgia, go compete with a Alabama, go compete with the LSU. I don't see that team being Pac-12, if they had got in, would have got smoked in that playoff.
Oh, yeah. It's almost better that they didn't make it, because then you're just like, well, why are we even here in the first place?
Exactly.
Give it to another team that had a better shot.
We can also talk about bowl games, man, because we are bowl eligible. So which bowl am I headed to?
Hopefully it's not a bad one.
Am I going down to Dago? Am I going to Vegas? Where we headed?
You might end up back in Vegas.
I know. I got a feeling. So there's a lot of, that's what we can talk about. We've already discussed a few things there, but anything on the docket that I missed that you got that can be discussed tonight?
No, I'm ready to get into it, man. We can go Suns. We could go ASU. We don't really have to go much Cardinals anything at this point because, it's a bye week and there's really no news except for Chase Edmonds is back at practice. So
basically,
yeah, we could go wherever you want to go, man. I'm ready.
Okay, then in that case, then we'll go there.
Man, that was a heck of a win. But let me tell you something else. For that win, help me to help you. You don't come back until Tuesday.
That was one heck of a win, man.
Absolutely.
The atmosphere in that stadium was something else. And I have to, like you put me on social media front, apology, but I did have to apologize because, like I said, I was just going by what I saw in those last 4 games. A team that just did not have a defense that can hang with the top teams out there. That was the main thing. The offense I knew could put up points, but the running game hadn't gotten going. Benjamin all year long has still not got that big signature game yet. Hasn't had that big 200-yard game that we were expecting. So in that case, I'm going, this is Oregon. Come on now, coming in. This is Oregon, a team that's got aspirations for a freaking national championship, for crying out loud. So I'm like, I thought that game was going to be a back-waxing.
Yeah.
I mean, Oregon back-waxing. I thought we were going to come in there, we're going to hang for a quarter, maybe a half of a quarter, and they were going to just every possession just go down the field on us. But man, this team came in with a focus that you could see it in their eyes. Usually when I go to those games, I go straight to the press box. I went down to the field in the first quarter this time and watched these kids. All of them had this look in their eye like, not tonight, buddy, not tonight. And it just felt like that. And they came out and played one hell of a game. And they still had a lot of mistakes of what they normally do with these young kids with the false starts and all of those things. But overall, man, I did not expect to get that win. I mean, if anything, hang in there, but to get the win,
yeah,
that was awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're going into the fourth quarter up. What was that? 13-7. I mean, you shut Oregon out for 2 quarters. Wow. And I mean, the fourth quarter you let them have 21 points, but still you shut them out for 2 quarters. That's pretty impressive to do against an Oregon Ducks team that is known for their offense.
Exactly. And Mitch gave me a whole, I said, give me a little bit info on this team, because like I said, I hadn't done any work on Oregon. I said, give me something. And he passed this thing to me that they were top of the list in pretty much like almost everything in the Pac-12. It's like defensive takeaways. I mean, you name it. They were at the top of it. I'm like, wow. I said, this should get ugly real fast. So I was giving back the stats, and next thing I know, I'm like, we in the dang game.
The only problem is that Oregon had a little bit of this going on.
Well, that's the story of my life. No respect.
They didn't give any respect to ASU. No respect whatsoever. And they played a sloppy game, and ASU just happened to capitalize on every single opportunity.
Speaking of that, let's think somebody asked a question in the presser to somebody that was not getting no respect too. Let me see if I got that clip.
I'm going to piggyback off that too. When you're not directly playing. That's a great feeling.
Oops.
Dreams is crushed. Yes, boy! Ain't no playoff. Ain't no playoff. Talk about playoff. Come in.
Man, that's the ASU quote of the century right there.
Yeah, that's Frank Darby came into the press conference just shouting like crazy and talking about some playoffs. He said dreams are crushed and no playoffs. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But I asked a question to Brandon Ayuk. I said, are they disrespecting you out there, man, and just singling you up like that? What's going on? He was like, yep. I guess so.
161 yards.
Man, they were singled up on him and Darby all night, and they ate them corners up in that game. I mean, our receivers, even Williams, all 3 were just running loose. I mean, running all over the field on them. I'm like, whoo. This is supposed to be a team that's supposed to be having top corners on the outside to stop teams and everything. Leading in takeaways and all these things, and they just got killed.
The difference to me, I'm looking at the box score here, but Jaden Daniels only 10 incompletions, while Herbert had I want to say 16 incompletions.
Let's go there, man. Oh man, yeah, you're right.
I mean, we were just able to get Herbert so off of his game that Daniels was just able to kind of make these plays here and there and just move the ball. You know how it is in any sport. You're able to get the ball moving. Good things happen.
When you have a young kid like that, that's supposed to be the a star and supposed to be the top player on your team going forward. Coaches know how to get in and know how to play those kids up. And so So Herb before the game is like, okay, yeah, that's a Heisman Trophy candidate over there. Yeah. But what are you gonna do? And that kid just went out there and just outshine. I mean, he started the game 9 straight completions.
Yeah.
And was on fire. I mean, the deep ball was just perfect all night. And he went out there and outplayed that kid. I mean, I looked at the two sides. I'm going, there go the Heisman Trophy candidate right there.
Yeah.
Just for one game. But this is a freshman, true freshman. But when you looked at it, I was looking for spectacular from Herbert, and I did not see that.
No, and you didn't see that even on the Oregon defense, too. I know you were saying you're still looking for Eno to have a big breakout game, but 114 yards on 31 carries is nothing to scoff at either.
Nothing. Yeah, that's a good running day, especially on that team.
So you think the Oregon Ducks defensive there's a lot of scrutiny right now for that defense because they were able to let ASU just kind of take over this game, or? Because what was you said they're singling up all the receivers and Eno had 114. So what were they doing?
Watching the game, I didn't see that many adjustments or anything. I didn't see. Okay, if Brandon Ayuk, if you're looking at the scouting report, he can take back a kick on you real quick. Why are you kicking to him? They were kicking the ball to him. They were singled up on it. They were just like disrespecting that that ASU was going to come in here and do anything in this game. It just felt like that.
Yeah,
when they got punched in the mouth, they didn't know what to do.
Right.
Until they woke up and figured out what was, because like I said, like going back to Herbert, he looked like he had just saw this defense for the first time.
Yeah. He
played like he just saw the ASU's defense. Whatever they were doing on defense, he saw it for the first time, because all for 2.5 quarters, he looked like he was throwing the ball high, off. He threw the ball right to us in the second for 2 interceptions. Right to us. And it's like, wow, this is supposed to be this kid. I'm like, I was looking for, we finna get killed with this star quarterback coming in here. He finna mop us up on this field. But he looked like a scared.
Well, you said he was seeing ghosts like Darnold was.
Deer in headlight type of quarterback until the fourth quarter, of course. But
yeah, and Chase Lucas had a good game too. And
yeah, we rattled him. We rattled him to the point where he was looking down at the rush. The rush wasn't like we were relentless like every play.
No.
He was just rattled because of the secondary, what we were doing in the secondary. So I don't know what he was seeing, but he threw us the ball 3 times actually. But you said, you didn't watch it down the stretch. I forgot who's number 15 on the Dane defense. I forgot. He would have had the winning pick.
And that's right. I did see that.
Yeah, they wouldn't have got that last score.
But you got to say, this has to probably be the best Pac-12 game of the year. And the best part about it is that the refs weren't even really involved. Usually it's a Pac-12 game. The refs are throwing flags left and right. It seemed like a pretty clean game for the most part. I know there was one early that was kind of questionable. Mm-hmm. But overall, that fourth quarter, that's one of the best endings of a game that you can have in the Pac-12, just going back and forth and back and forth. And the lead's slipping and you still have it, you don't have it. And that was just a great game. Really entertaining overall.
Right. So, going forward for for ASU, let's just talk about ASU going forward. Okay, so we know they're bowl eligible, but this is going to also add to helping and aiding and continuing and bringing those recruits from all over the freaking country. And this is just opens up so many different avenues for them that they can get wins like this and be on a national stage like this, on national TV like this, and Herm's coaching comes through and shines, and they can see it. And so I'm hoping. He just got through saying there's 25 more freshmen get to practice going into the next week. So I'm like, man, it's like. We could probably have kids coming from all over, everywhere, trying to get in here now. And
it's not just Herm that's attracting this. You're on a national stage and kickoff's about to start, and you're playing Kendrick Lamar, and the stadium's going crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, kids are going to notice that and go, "This looks kind of fun to play here in the desert when it's not really freezing cold outside." And they're playing Kendrick Lamar on kickoff. Yeah, I could get hyped for that. I could sign up for that. Oh, and Herm's the coach? Yeah, okay, yeah, I know that guy.
Yep.
It's only going to help from there. Playing a national televised game is just icing on the cake, especially when you're able to pull off an upset like that.
Exactly. We're still on ASU here. So, Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
I mean, with the year he's having right now, and the threat that he is right now in college football, period. Could he actually go higher than the Kill did in the draft?
Wow. I mean, that's tough. He's a little bit shorter than Harry was, right? I mean, he's 6'1", Ayuk 6'1".
A little bit shorter. Hey, that don't mean nothing if he can do what he's doing.
But in 2019, he has 1,100 yards, 8 TDs, 60 receptions. I mean,
and go to his return yardage. Go to his return stats.
See.
The
Yeah.
kid can return. He's got a vision like 2020 all over the place. That kid can see what's coming but he can anticipate way before it's happening and find a crease, and he's gone. I'm really interested to see what his 40 time is going to be, because if he can clock, the 40 time, he can go higher than what Nikhil went.
You're right about that. I'm unable to. So ESPN's kind of done with how they lay their stats out. I'm trying to find his returns, but
I'm pretty sure they're up there because he's a threat in the return game for sure.
Yeah.
So, but they're in a good spot. So we talked a little bit about what bowl and where you think they're going to go bowl wise. Do you think that this bowl is wherever they're headed is still waiting on to see what's going to happen next week?
yeah, I mean, they're kind of NCAA is kind of hard like that. I think you have to kind of go. You have to have a little bit of longevity, a little bit of momentum to get a better outlook. So I don't think they're going to, kind of pigeonhole them into one bowl here or there. I think they have to wait to see how the rest of the season goes. It's going to be tough. I think that this team should have been. The expectations were low, but this team had chances to be where Oregon was. Yeah, where Oregon was coming into this game. And that would have been.
I count at least 9-3.
Just imagine ASU being at the same record as Oregon and coming into this game together. It would have been an insane game.
That would have made for one hell of a game.
Yeah.
That would have been something else.
But that didn't happen. ASU had some games here and there that they lost and dropped to. But, what are you going to do?
I'm kind of glad. I mean, I'm not glad they lost those games, but I am kind of encouraged that the young freshmen got to go through that adversity.
Yeah.
Because it would have been really, really, the second year coming back would have been more pressure than he doesn't be able to, live up to that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But having lived it now and knowing how to go through it now, that helps.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kyler Murray. Same thing. I mean, he's getting to go through some stuff now. So now when it's time to come back and do it again, you'll be able to rise through it.
Yeah, you'll be able to finish off the Oregon States of the world and the USCs and UCLAs when you're supposed to beat them.
Exactly. And not overlook them and not play down to them. But finishing off on ASU, let's just go into Jaden Daniels. I mean, this kid is just, I watch him on the field. And I watch every pass he throws, and whether it's a mistake, whether it's an incompletion, he looks the same.
Yeah.
When he threw the big touchdown, he was looking like, his head was down like in the helmet. You could see the top of his eyes in the helmet. All you can see is and he's just smiling. Like, I was like, this kid don't even know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, does he really not know what's really going on? Because even in the press conference, he's just like, laughing and smiling like, why is everybody so excited? Like, he knows everybody's excited because they won the game, but he's like, he don't know the magnitude of what he just done out there.
Yeah, and I think that's that you got to love about Jaden Daniels is he's very even-keeled. He doesn't he's kind of like Kyler Murray in that aspect. They're not going to, chew somebody out on the field. They're just going to encourage and kind of just go through it. And you know what I love about this guy? 2 interceptions all year.
Right.
All year.
Takes care of the ball, yes, and that's big from a true freshman.
Yeah.
You come in and do that,
and they played some good defenses.
Yeah, and then his body style is not that big, and it's
not,
but it's like, how does he have a big arm like that? His body looked like that.
6'3", 175 pounds. He's taller than me and skinnier than me, man.
can throw that ball from any side. Herb said he can go to one side of the field and throw it back the other way.
Yeah, and I believe it. I mean, the man just stands up and throws it.
So I'm like, wow, that kid is amazing.
And he doesn't push it on the rush either.
What do you think his ceiling's going to look like? Do you think, of course, he's going to probably be one of those maybe two and done kids.
Well,
maybe 3. I would say I hope he sticks around for 3 years.
Yeah, I'd like to see him to 3.
Yeah, I mean, if he knows what's good for him, he'll stick around for 3. But if he comes out next year and just blows it up, then he probably can be headed right into the draft after that. But I don't think he'll be ready for that. But I don't know. Just what does his ceiling look like? Does it look like he can be a Heisman Trophy candidate next year, or what? Because the way he's playing right now, it's like, is he just too young to really know what he's doing at this level?
Yeah, I think. There's going to be a bit of a regression, I think, next year. It's just a natural thing. Players, when you have your film out there, you get studied a lot harder for the next year. It just kind of happens in every sport. Right now he's got a 62% completion percentage. I think he's got a good ceiling, Earl. I don't know if he's going to go first round type of a quarterback. It just depends on how long he stays, how much he develops, and what he can do for this club.
Well, all I know is through anything he's going through out there, doesn't matter. He just takes that helmet off and twirls that little hair. Just twirls it like, and just looks up like, I don't know, whatever. He just looks like he has a care in the world, man. But let's hope they get a good bowl out of this and keep shining the way he looks right now. But you're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show right here on KSRN. www.ksrnaz.com. Go there, download the mobile apps so you can have this show and abundance of other shows that are on the network right at your fingertips. We'll be right back, Bird Gang. Stick around.
Yeah.
Sun Nation and ASU Nation. Stick around.
We're going to take a little break, but we'll be back in a while, so don't nobody go nowhere.
Hey, Arizona, this is Earl Burnett, the Kazual Sportz Show. I want to invite you to the hottest sports bar in the valley. Experience the lodge mentality of Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is so much more than your typical sports bar. This lounge welcomes every guest with the World Series walk-offs and barrel-aged whiskey. The second you walk inside, you're surrounded by a lodge full of friendly and attentive Twin Peak girls serving it up from scratch. Only here can you truly embrace the lodge mentality. Twin Peaks. Nothing sets us apart more than our signature 29 draft beers, served in perfectly frosted 22-ounce man-sized mugs. Our rotating selection of fan favorites and in-house brews are the guests' trusted companion in victory or defeat. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Your sports news and the best shows daily. Tune into the best internet station on the web.
A little jump shot is good. It's an 8-0 Pollock leading off the second against Ross Stripley.
And a drive to left. That ball's got a chance, and that ball will fly out of here. Number 6.
KSRN Kazual Sportz Radio Network. Subscribe today.
Welcome back into the Casual House. Earl Burnett, Sean McConnell, doing it for you every Monday night, giving you all the scoop of what's going down. Keep your ears open for all of the wonderful things that are going to be going on in the community coming up. We got some good stuff that I don't have in organization right now, so I can't give it out right now. I'll give it out, of course, next week. But it's a lot of good things coming down I want y'all to get involved with. So,
and
keep that up, huh?
And you can listen to this man that was playing right now in the intro on Thursdays with the Neutral Zone. is J Love playing in the background right there. Gotta love it.
I think Jay's supposed to be playing live somewhere soon too, right?
He sure is, and I think he's watching right now. So he better post that link in our Facebook feeds.
Post that out, because that'll be another one of those things I got to pump out too. So, and that boy can spit. I know y'all can hear just a little of it there, but don't sleep. Don't sleep on that J Love, man. That dude can spit. Trust me on that one. But let's go into the next segment here. Of course, our Cardinals are on a bye week, and of course, like, we were happy that they did not lose a game this week.
Grateful, very grateful.
Yeah, very, very, very grateful. But when you look at this team's remaining schedule, and then you look at what's going on these games this week, I mean, I have to give it some look at. I mean, this Baltimore team destroying the Rams right now. That 49ers team destroying Green Bay. And you got to find one common denominator that why the Cardinals are able to hang in these games. And the common denominator is Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He is the X factor. He is the franchise quarterback that a team needs, that can ride on his back, even if they don't win the game, but they can look better than they looked the year before instantly. And he is that guy.
You know, the question that I have now, I mean, looking at these next 5 games, are the Cardinals going to risk taking that Ferrari and gunning it for those next 5 games just to say that you did? Or are you going to keep him in the garage, make him play vanilla, and maybe win 1 or 2?
No. You can't hold back now, because you don't want to stunt his development. He hasn't gotten that signature win yet.
No, I agree with this. It's making me wonder.
He needs, for his psyche, for his whatever it takes for him to continue what he's doing to keep getting better. He needs a signature win.
Yeah, he needs like a spin. He needs a Lamar Jackson spin move. He needs something.
He needs medicine like that ASU win. Something like that. And looking at our schedule, who is that game? What game is that?
I mean, I'd love for it to be obviously all 3 of our.
They say it's the same Ram team.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice, but I'd love to see us beat the Browns, because that's a team that they're starting to trend up, like you were saying. They're starting to trend up right when they're about to get that peak. Maybe Kyler just goes off against Baker. You know what I mean?
Right. So you got them. I mean, looking at the schedule, with the exception of Seattle would be that one win if you win that game. That would look like that ASU game against the Oregon. That would be the game.
That's the needle mover.
But looking at those other teams, the Rams, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland.
And the Rams again.
No, I'm just saying, that's why I'm saying only Rams. The Rams, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. Our offense can outscore those offenses. The only question mark is going to be, can our defense stop those mediocre offenses? Pittsburgh cannot score the ball. Pittsburgh is a dink and dunk check down team if I had never seen one.
Well, we thought 49ers were too.
Baker Mayfield and Cleveland Browns are just erratic. But if your defense can't play, they can put up some points on you if you get receivers behind you. And then the Rams don't look like the Rams right now.
No, so the common denominator here is the Steelers don't have their starting quarterback, and the Browns and Rams, there is like no faith nationally in these 2 quarterbacks at all.
Nope.
So if you can somehow find a way, Vance Joseph, to blitz and get to a quarterback with not just Chandler Jones, because he can't do it all, obviously.
Exactly.
You have a chance to win at least 3 out of these 4 games, not including the Seahawks game.
Right.
You have a chance, and all you're asking for is a chance.
Yeah, you're 12 weeks into the season. So the way I look at it, Cliff Kingsbury, you're going to have to just outscore these teams. I mean, when I say outscore them, you try to go after them, attack them, and try to blow them out, because that defense is not going to do the job.
Right.
It's 12 weeks into the season. Can we prove all of a sudden? And we haven't done it for 12 weeks. What can we do on that defense right now to have any chance to play on the road in Seattle? I mean, I don't see the adjustment. The only one adjustment I can see in our defense that would give us some help, but it would probably be too late to try and do right now, was to put Hassan Reddick hand in the dirt and come off the edge.
Yeah.
And sit the old man Suggs down.
That's the only thing I can think of.
That's the only adjustment I can think of. Everything else is the same.
Yeah, I mean, short of getting Robert Alford back late, I don't really know what's going to happen with him. And there's not just some guy sitting on the bench just not getting a chance. It's more of like one guy's out of position here, one guy's playing zone when he should be playing man here. Other than that, like, you have what you have. So I can't be entirely mad at Vance Joseph, and I'm not becoming a Vance apologist. Don't put me on that because you know I will.
You just got a level head now.
I'm just level right now because there's no loss to be mad at. You know what I mean? It's just kind of whatever.
I guess that's a good way of looking at it. There's no loss this week, so now you can really get back, take a step back, and really see what's really going on. And yeah, it's not really all his fault. I mean, as a coach, he can still take what he has and maximize it.
Yeah.
Put it into positions where, okay, we can squeeze something out of where we can get 2 good crucial stops in one game.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all you're going to need, 2 or 3 good crucial stops. Because the offense can score the points to win a game. They've been doing that since they started to jail back, week 4 or 5. Where they can put up the points. They can move the ball between the 20s. They've even gotten a little bit better in the red zone. So, I mean, 25, 30 points they can put up. That's all you really need. Who can score 30 points of the 5 games we have left other than the Cleveland Browns?
I mean,
of course, Seattle,
Seattle, yeah, but I wouldn't say the Steelers.
I would not. Looking at this Ram team, you better take this Baltimore tape and try to.
42-6 right now, Earl.
Ooh, my goodness.
But you know what you're saying right now. I mean, it's got me feeling good.
Yeah, I'm predicting. I don't know why. I just got a feeling that we're going to win 4 out of 5 games of these last 5 games. 4 out of the 5, and the last one's going to be the Seattle game where they're going to have to be playing their best because they're going to be battling that 49er team for that positioning in the playoffs. So we are not going to beat that team,
right?
Unless we get one of those
stealing
games where we play spoiler. We just said not tonight, Seattle. And we come in there with some serious focus. But I really just don't see reality-wise. I don't see the defense holding up in Seattle. I just don't see it. But those other 4 games, man, those other 4 games are winnable.
Yeah.
I mean, you get this Ram team getting beat up like this, coming off this game like this, get them while they down. Kick them while they down. And kick their butts in our home and win these next 3 at home in a row. Boom. There you go.
Don't just kick them while they're down, Earl.
You going to learn today. You going to learn today.
You got to go in there with that you're going to learn today mentality.
Go ahead and say it with your chest.
I'm not putting that one on there.
No, but yeah, that would be that would be a pretty good feat for them to win those next 3 home games. Let's protect home. That I would be good with that, but I think they'll get 4. I don't know why. I think they'll get 4 out of the 5 that's left. So going into that game, the Ram game that's coming up all week long. Of course, now we hear practices started now, and the running backs and everybody. Chase is about to come back. He's in practice now, and now we have a 3-headed monster. I can't really call it a 3-headed monster. We got 3 running backs in the room now. and now it's like, what do you do with 3 running backs?
Man, I don't know how diverse you are on your meme culture, on your memes. Have you seen the 3-headed dragon meme that shows up? It's got 2 dragons that look real scary, and then the third one's kind of got googly eyes and his tongue sticking out.
Yes, I've seen that before.
I don't want to say that the latter is David Johnson, but the latter is David Johnson. And the 3-headed monster is looking scary because you have Drake and Edmonds, but not because you have David Johnson.
Right.
Unless he can all of a sudden turn it around in 5 games with this bye week. Maybe he ate a bunch of steak and just woke up again. I don't know what happened, but
I don't think that's
this is a good problem to have.
I mean, judging by the game that we saw last week, on the field, but not around the ball. On the field, but as a decoy. I'm hearing a lot of chatter about making him a receiver. And I'm telling you, that's not going to work.
Right.
Here's the reason why. Not saying he doesn't have the talent to play receiver. He could probably do that. But the reason why David has gotten the attention that he's gotten being a receiver is because he was a running back. And what he does in the running back is not expected to be done as the receiver. So it's a dual threat. What makes him a lethal weapon is he had two things he could do on the field that you had to guess at what he was doing.
Right.
If he comes out and lines up as a receiver and you know he's just a receiver where you can just single him up like with a cornerback and you're fine. The reason he was getting open and all the things you could do in your offense was because he was matched up with linebackers. You put him at receiver, he's going to have a corner on him. He's going to be just neutralized like any other receiver.
Yeah. I mean, unless your best bet is just to put him out and either run a screen or just a quick out and just kind of have him hope that he's going to run through somebody that's
come
significantly smaller.
It's come down to David getting back to running. If he could get back to running, now he opens up himself to be able to be a receiving threat. I mean, but how do you get him on the field to run when Drake is running so good?
I don't know. I mean, do you put him on the field? I mean,
no, I don't put him. I put him on the field. I mean, if there's any position that can match up to a linebacker, I would put him as a second tight end in a package where you got Max Williams coming in to block, and he can be the route tight end and something where he can match up with somebody that cannot match up with him, like linebackers.
Yeah,
I would use him at tight end, just the position. I mean, don't matter how big or small, be the tight end. At least you're on the field, and hey, I don't know, get something out of him. But handing them the ball and saying, we don't have those reps to waste in a game. And here's another thing. I don't mean to keep just rattling on, but everybody's talking about he needs to run. We need to get him the ball. Get him the ball. Why is Cliff Kingsbury needs to get him the ball? But we got to understand that Cliff Kingsbury has saw David Johnson in practices from day one up until today. There's a reason why he is not on the field.
Right.
If you're watching the guy in practice not do it, why are you going to trust him in a game and hand him a ball? Why are you going to waste reps in a game and hand him a ball? I don't know. I don't see him getting the ball a lot. I don't see it.
No, I don't see it either, and I don't feel like a lot of receptions and receiving yards and receiving touchdowns is going to boost his confidence in the run game.
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, he looks like the type to me that could digress even worse when you see the other guy getting better and better and better and better and better and getting the spotlight. He'll just start digressing even worse.
Yeah, I could see that too.
And it looks like he's putting the flag up, surrender, and saying, I need a change of scenery. I mean, maybe that's the best thing to do. Now, that's going to be the thing that we have to worry about going into the next offseason. But from the way things are looking, I don't see the team just dumping him.
No, I don't think they should dump him. That's a lot of money. That's going to be dead money. Like I had said, week 3, that's your window. I don't know. Maybe I just had an inclination, saw the writing on the wall, something. Seeing Chase just run through people and go crazy and see David not just looked like you need to trade this man and you need to trade him fast. Trade him to Philly for a pick. Trade him to Philly for a pick, and you didn't do it. And now look at you. You would have loved to have that Philly pick now because that's a decent pick.
We posed a question last week about what team he would look, best going to, and I am not going to sleep on or not going to think of. I mean, when it comes to teams looking for a running back like that, I can't dismiss BA in Tampa. I can't because BA is the type of ego type guy that said, let me show y'all how to really use this guy. And he'll probably try to get him back to the old David because he knew how to put him in a spot where he thought that he can be successful or whatever it is that BA's system was that David was getting accustomed to.
Right.
That would probably be the best place he could go.
But, I mean, Earl, I'm going to go a little analogy on you. If you're a teacher and you have a student that you just, man, he's always on this kid. I always got to remind him of this and do this. And then he gets held back a year and you have him again. Are you going to be excited for the next school year or are you going to ask to change grades?
Well, if I'm BA, in BA's case, he needs that kid to win games regardless.
That's true. That is true. They need help.
And he needs help big time. And so if he can get a dynamic, used to be dynamic running back that can do, what David was doing when he was in 2016, if BA could get just a little bit of that out of him, I'm pretty sure he'd be the first person to come grab him.
Hell, they might want David to play quarterback.
Did you see that? Man, this kid, what is wrong with this dude's head, man?
It's all the crab legs. I keep telling you, man. Crab legs are bad for your brain.
He would look good one play, and then the jump up interception. It's like, dude, what are you jumping up for to throw the ball for? Oh, I know BA, he's driving him nuts down there.
Oh, absolutely. It's too bad that the Quarterback Whisperer book there's a volume 2, because I'd love to just read the Jameis section. Oh, man, it's too good.
Let's switch gears, man, and talk about our Phoenix Suns, Suns Nation. Let's talk about the Phoenix Suns, man. They are 500. Yeah, they are 5. And when have you ever wore that stuff out?
Hey, wait, hold on. Hey, I got the sweatshirt. This hat is brand new, by the way. I got it this weekend.
Right.
Shout out to Dad. He got me this hat.
More stuff and wearing more Phoenix Suns stuff. Nobody was doing that last year.
No, but here's the thing. He won this hat, so they were giving away hats, and then he gave it to me. So that just shows you that this still isn't hot merch. It's still, it's all right. But no, I love this hat.
Look how proud you are wearing it.
Man, I just look good in purple. That's all.
I'm trying to go buy it. You just be in the area. I'll take it. If that was last year to be able to stump that sucker in the ground, like, I don't want to be seen with that thing.
Oh, come on, man. I would wear it. I'd wear it. I wore the Cardinals hat all last year, and how'd that go?
That's true.
Come on.
But we are proud of our team. I mean, 8-8. They are a 500 team right now, and that's due to the injuries. I think they would be at least 10-6 right now without the injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Rubio would have played in one of those games,
right?
Like if he plays in the Kings game, you win the Kings game. You maybe have a little bit more juice in the Pelicans game, and you can pull it out. I mean, you lost by 3 in that one. A lot of these losses, with the exception of, the Nuggets, Celtics, and what was that other one? The Heat game. Those are the only 3 like big losses. Everything else is within 10 points, and usually that's because you get into the foul game late and you have to kind of play the clock. But
correct.
This team is just playing pretty much everybody close.
Yeah,
and it's great to see.
Hard. Yeah, it is. So you're the basketball guy, and you kind of keep an eye out on what's going on when it comes to Suns and stuff like that. So give me this skinny. The Pelicans game and the Denver game just recently.
Mm-hmm.
Were you itching and holding on to your seat, waiting for Devin to take over those games?
There's definitely some games where I'm looking and I'm saying, why is he being passive? I'm not understanding.
Right.
And I think the Rubio scenario has got him to be a little bit more passive.
Mm-hmm.
And with him not being there 100% of the time, maybe he's just unsure when he needs to take over.
Right.
I don't love seeing Booker pass a lot. I'd rather see Booker take it to the hole and get fouled. The hard part is we're still trying to earn those fouls as a team. I'm looking at Booker for sure. I mean, this team is only going to succeed with him.
Exactly. And then, a lot has been said about questioning, is he a superstar? Is he a superstar in the making? Is he going forward going to be a superstar?
Mm.
And there's some things that you look at his game and you go, okay, superstar. First of all, that's the main thing, would take over those games. But every superstar that can take over a game doesn't have to be the one that's scoring everything. They could take over a game and do it in other ways too. But
Right.
at the same time, take over the game. I just don't think Book has the elite ball handling to take over a game like he wants to do it. Because I watch him turn the ball over at a high rate. He is turning the ball over when those double teams come. And it feels to me like those double teams are in his head. And he just runs away and jumps up and throws the ball. And then everybody's intercepting and running the other way with it. It's like, a superstar is going to know how to strategically get through a double team.
Earl, are you saying that Devin Booker should have worked on the double team in the summer? Is that what you're saying?
Don't get mad at it. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at it. I mean, if that's what you need to work on, That's the problem. That's where he's turning the ball over the most is in those double teams. And sometimes he's a little. I'm not going to use the word soft, but sometimes he's a little lackadaisical with the ball, where he thinks he can just go anywhere he wants to go, and he's got this elite ball handling that he doesn't have. And next thing you know, her hands in there tipping the ball away, and he's turning it over. And it's like, okay, you got to know your limitations first of all. Second of all, if you talk about working on stuff in the off season, work on your ball handling.
Right.
Because that's key to getting out of a double team. You can't dribble the ball or know how to handle the ball, then you're going to turn that ball over a lot of times when it comes to that double team.
I really
I'm seeing that with my own eyes. Like, ooh, he doesn't look like. Whoa, he looks scared to dribble the ball sometimes.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time too with him because I think Booker is definitely a star. I don't see him as a superstar. You know, you think of Giannis when he came into the league. The guy just exploded.
Right.
Superstar. I mean, human highlight reel type stuff. You're not seeing these things with Booker. You're seeing like, man, Booker can put up points. Booker can score. He can get to the rim. Okay, so could Gilbert Arenas, but I never thought of Gilbert Arenas as a superstar.
Right.
He was a star who could just put up a lot of points.
Right.
And it's not a bad thing to have one of those guys on your team. It really isn't, especially when you have the right role players around you. It can elevate that guy into a superstar kind of role for a year or two based on how the league is going. And I think we might have that this year, but we'll see.
I kind of look at another player in the league that kind of reminds me of where Book is right now. Zach LaVine. Did you see how Zach LaVine is up, down, up, down? Book is not doing the up and down thing like that in his performances.
Right.
But Zach LaVine is supposed to be the star of the Chicago Bulls.
Well, the Bulls have a lot of problems.
But I'm saying, but then did you see the game he had the other night?
Yeah.
That's the type of game where you say, okay, the heck with it. I got to take over this game. Give me the ball and get out the way. I have not seen that yet with Booker yet.
No, but he's still
that 71 that point game, and he had to have the ball in his hand, and the ball was in his hands already. We talk about having a already good team that are coming into a game with a struggling Oubre one night, and you don't have your big man, but you're still a good competitive team. Book, give him the ball, get out the way. And I mean, Zach LaVine, that game the other night, when he hit that big old three, I'm like, man, that kind of looked like Devin Booker.
Well, Booker is still
and down, you know, it's just up and down.
He's still leading the team in points per game, 24.8. Career-wise, he's 21.6, so he's above his career. I mean, the Denver game he had 12, the New Orleans game he had 19, but the Minnesota game he had 35 against his buddy. Sacramento, he had 30.
How many assists did he have with the 12 points?
With the 12 points, he had 5 assists.
Okay, so
5 turnovers.
12 points, you got to have the assists have to be higher.
Right.
If you're only going to have 12 points, because that's showing that, okay, they're doubling me, so I'm going to get my teammates the ball. And you have to have a higher number of assists. But if you got how many turnovers he had?
He had 5 in that game. That's not his highest.
4 a game. He's averaging at least 4 a game turnover-wise.
Yeah.
So that's right there that tells you either, I don't know, he's not focused, or I don't know what it is, but that stat line tells you the whole story right there, that he's not superstar yet.
For the longest time, for the first couple years, I would say I always thought of Booker as like the next kind of Ray Allen, a spot-up shooter kind of guy, like a Klay Thompson light almost. And then he started getting love from Kobe and all these other guys, and I'm like, okay, do people really see him as like that level?
He's the next. This, look out for him. Everybody start getting him that level. So now he's got that in his head that he's that next. But tell me this: what else does Devin Booker do besides shoot jumpers?
He can get to the rim. I will say that he can definitely get to the rim.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say it's at will, but he can definitely get to the rim with ease. And that's something that you have to have.
Better, stronger, under control ball handling. He would be deadly going to the rim.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when it comes out of passing on double teams, that is a big weakness of his.
Right. That's good. There's things that he still needs to work on to get to that next level, and that's okay. That's okay. I mean, but like you said, I like what you said earlier, that he's got a good team around him that can build him up to that level and get him there. That's good. And especially his coach. His coach is going to lean on him a lot more, tell him when and knowing when to give him the ball and say, go get us this win. So I don't know. I think he's got a ways to go. Maybe a good start getting a little bit feeding off that winning atmosphere and that winning culture. And maybe that'll fuel it because he's got a killer instinct.
Absolutely.
I don't think he's afraid to go in the moment and go do things. I think he's got a killer. I just think he tries to do it too fast, and he just doesn't have control of the ball all the time. And that's where those turnovers are coming at. But,
yeah, and I mean, new coach, new system. He's still trying to learn when to push, when not to push, when to pass, when not to pass. It's a balance thing.
How to be the facilitator at the same time too, because the point guard's out right now, Rubio's out right now, so the ball's in his hands again. So, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to learn.
I mean, you got to think Booker is almost like the Josh Rosen of the NBA. The dude has been through so many coaches. It's almost unfair.
Josh Rosen, not from a talent standpoint. We didn't talk to Josh Rosen.
Well, I mean, he's got talent. I'm not going to say he's not talented. He's in the NFL, but with true. All the coaches that he's had to go through, Booker's been through a lot of coaches, man.
We're talking about Booker getting pushed, almost getting closer to star talent, all-star talent and all that, but Josh Rosen ain't nowhere near that.
No, of course not. No, of course not. Not at all.
But yeah, I get what you're saying though. But yeah, okay. So let's answer me this question and tell me what you think. What will be the Suns' record when DeAndre Ayton returns?
How many more games do they have until he comes back?
I think they were sitting around 13 or 14. I think
13 or 14 more.
Yeah.
I mean, let me get the full schedule up here.
16. So no, actually, only got 9.
9 more.
11 to go.
Final answer.
So they're 8-8.
All right. So they got Washington, Dallas, Charlotte, Orlando, New Orleans, Houston, Minnesota, Memphis, San Antonio.
Those are a lot of good wins there. If they can get them.
If you're saying 11, I'm going to say...
Keep in mind, Baines could be coming back and Rubio could be coming back. And the way they've been playing in the first week or 2 weeks, that team
if it's that team going forward, I'm going to say they get 8 out of 11 wins. If it's not that team going forward, I'm going to say they get 6 out of 11 wins.
Okay, so you're thinking they'll be 16 and what? 10, 9, 16 and 9, 16 and 8?
Yeah, something like that. It's 9 o'clock. You're making me do math.
Exactly where I had them at too. 16 and 8. I was like, I think they'll be about. I'm not 8, not 16 and 8, but 16 and 17 and like 12 or somewhere around there. 12 or 13 losses.
Above 500. Let's just call it that.
500 by 2 or 3 games. Yeah. So I think they'll be fine. But now the question is going to be, what are they going to look like when he does come back? Because remember this too. We don't see what Ayton's doing right now. That team knows what he's doing right now. They're practicing with this kid. He gets to practice with them.
Right.
So they know what they're looking forward to. But I haven't heard any of the players say anything about looking forward to him coming back. Have you heard any? I mean, usually when the stars talking like Booker's talking, when we get the big man back, we'll be. Nobody's mentioning him at all.
Because Aaron Baines.
Right. Right.
That's the big man.
So the question is Aaron Baines even outplaying him in practice?
I feel like Aaron Baines is that kind of guy that he's not going to just let the starter be the starter. I would much rather see them both on the floor at the same time and go big, really big, and see what happens there. I mean, Baines is an enforcer.
Right. It's going to be interesting to see what Monty does. Do you just hand him the reins, or do you make him earn it? And I got Monty's the guy I think is going to make him earn it. I don't think it's going to be anything given to anybody on this team. But it's been another edition of the Kazual Sportz Show. No Cardinals this week, but they are back on the practice field this week and heading to play that garbage team we just saw get whooped tonight next week. And hopefully we can do the same thing with them, because they had problems with Lamar Jackson. So let's see them have problems with Kyler Murray playing him for the first time. So we'll see.
Hey, I made that GIF for you, and I put it up on Facebook Live that you want to see so bad.
Oh, okay.
Or that meme. Sorry, not a GIF, that meme.
The meme? Okay, I'll check that out. Check us out next week, Bird Gang. We'll be talking Cardinals again, and let's fill up that stadium with our fans. See you next time, Bird Gang. Peace out.
Peace.